What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 95 of my Total Warhammer 3 Vlad and Isabella Immortal Empires campaign. I almost forgot about which campaign it was there for a second, at least in part because of the votes being held for new campaigns. So as a little bit of an aside, don't forget to check those out. There are more votes than there were previously, as we're now voting for the legendary lords for the next few campaigns as well, not just the faction. Anyway, as we saw last time, Bathilda faced off against the might of, I suppose the mightier of these Skaven armies that we've seen so far, of Lord Skrolk, and destroyed 3 armies near the Great Desert of Erby. 1 army does remain, but it is probably inconsequential, and I do imagine it'll try to get the heck out of here at this point. Now, we have several battles that we have to take this episode. First of all, there is the battle at Dread Rock with Edmund von Falkenstein. He's going to... It's going to be fine against that, but we may immediately get attacked by Wilmar Barrackmere as well if he doesn't die fighting these guys. Actually going to be interesting to see who's going to kill who. In the theory, it feels like this army should be stronger, but it is pretty badly damaged, so Ilona's army might win. I actually don't want them to take Shattered Stone Bay, so hopefully we can avoid that. Anyway, in addition to that, we still have the fight against the village up here with Rankin. In fact, before I forget, let's block this army once again. And another success. Well done, Assassin. Finally doing some work. Some good work, I should say. Get your Grave Ward. And there we are. And yeah, well, obviously that army is not going to get away from Marenki. Let's do a little bit of admin, then we'll do a fight, then more admin, and then more fight, as we like to separate those. Now, does anybody actually need to move right now? Let's see, the boosters are all in place. Who is Malsur Aratep? Oh, you were going to join this army as another Necro. Yeah, fine, move out there, but it looks like that Richard will be fighting Archaon. Move out. Now, we could replace Richard with a... Let's see here. We could replace him with a Vamp, although they're all fairly low level, so we'd have to essentially take a level 4 Vamp as opposed to a Master Necro of level 7. You know what, I think we'll just keep him. I just gotta repeatedly summon Raise Dead and try not to get bogged down fighting Archaon, because obviously he'll probably kill him in like 2 hits. Let's keep away. Bruno Morfen. Yeah, so you can't move until these guys figure out what they're going to do, which is kind of annoying, but it is what it is, so I guess you're just staying here for now. Sort of protecting the Veil of Titans? I mean, there's free units in there, if nothing else. We can't raise anything better. I really want him to move here, destroy Karakazorn camp, and then Karakazorn, thereby destroying Goldtooth for good. But we can't move, because if we do, I'm willing to bet these guys will come up north. We'll see what they do next turn, because there is an army here that will probably die next turn. Yeah, maybe Imrik will defeat Gorst's army? We'll see. We'll have to wait until the AI accomplishes something. Now, I guess we could do some building, at least a little bit. Frankly, I don't care that much about the building at this stage anymore. We're a little bit late into the campaign for that, but I guess we do need the gibbets everywhere. I do wish that there was a simpler way. Oh well. Mahrok or Granite Massive? Well, Mahrok doesn't actually have walls, so I guess we'll start with the U. Next up, let's see, Qatar, definitely upgrade. Yeah, we need to get the walls up and running everywhere in this particular area, or in the followers of Nagash will probably come in and attack us shortly. Well, maybe not shortly, but within 10 turns or so. They're gonna get angry. You know what? Let's also buff up Mordheim, not to be confused with Mordheim. Just don't want that to get taken over by Archaon's armies as well, especially as it has a special building. Walls at Misty Mountain, Kradtamen. You know what? Let's hold off on the walls, but let's get the gibbets up and running. They are kind of in danger, though. Well, Misty Mountain, maybe not so much. Kradtamen could certainly get attacked. Fine. 'Tis an investment, but I guess we'll take it. Alrighty, and also, before I forget, let's just take a quick look here. So we have Quinnell, but we need to keep building it up. I want to once again trade it to Carcassonne, but I think until it's tier 3, it's not really going to be worth much. I'd love for these guys to become our vassal rather than our ally at some point. I also do want Grungzint, so if they don't want to be our vassal, we'll just trade it for Grungzint and keep them as an ally. Maybe. Once again, I'd prefer to just have everybody either a vassal or a... or dead. Or dead and raised to fight for us. So another form of vassalage, I suppose. Anyway, let's see what else we got in terms of building. Let's go to the lower end of the... Doomkeep. Right, well, let's at least go for the Foster Terror here. We weren't gonna keep Doomkeep for ourselves, but we'll still trade it to our allies, so we may as well upgrade it slightly. 3,000 gold. Guess we could get a Balefire Brazier here. We want to try to reduce the corruption. The Chaos corruption. I think the problem here isn't so much that we don't have enough Vampiric corruption, rather that's the problem is that there is Chaos corruption coming in from nearby provinces, which would be these ones. I guess they spread Chaos corruption to nearby. This is undivided corruption into this location, but that's at Serpent Jetty. What is putting corruption into nearby? Here we go. Obsidian Quarry. And Marauder Outposts. Okay, well then. I guess this is going to be the goal. Alrighty, well, it looks like while we do have a little bit of cash remaining, I don't see many more gibbets that we can spend stuff on. I guess we could upgrade Crackadrag if we really wanted to, but I feel like we could just hold on to the money for now. Tower of Torment, you're going to get traded, but we can give you a gibbet for now as well. Why not? Give our allies a gibbet. Alrighty, let's do a fight. Let's do a fight. Now, we fought Village before and already, so I think we'll prioritize Edmund von Falkenstein's army instead. Or Falkenstein. Let's have you move up here. And attack. Alrighty, a Pyrrhic victory according to this. The enemy does have walls here, so we will have to go, well, through them, I suppose. We do have a decent amount of stalking units, as well as all of our army minus you guys, our vanguard deployed. And I don't think anything here is all that threatening. Really, it's the towers that are going to be more threatening. Let's see just how threatening it is cinematically.
An ancient power is rising.
Alrighty, finally time for the Vanguard army to get its, well, sort of debut. This isn't really a true debut for this particular army because we can't really take advantage of our ability to Vanguard deploy right in the face of an enemy army, which is unfortunate, mostly because this isn't a field battle, but at least they get a battle of some sort, and then it'll have a debut in the field, probably against either the Caravan of Blue Roses or against the remnants of Kugat's faction. In terms of setup, most of our units are over on this side. Of course, the enemy towers can't see our Mournguls and our Cryptghouls. We do have our Hexrites waiting, though they're not going to be very useful at breaking through a gate, so we might actually just send them around. Over on the other side of the map, we also have a pair of Mourngul units and a pair of Cryptghoul units, and they are all going to break through the gate and head either directly towards the main enemy victory plaza or start killing isolated units within the settlement. Otherwise, it's Vamps and Trees and Mortis Engines that are going to break through the gate and head directly towards those enemies. Here come the Mortis Engines. Or here comes one Mortis Engines. Look like the other one is completely blocked by the trees until they move in. The Vamps in here as well, looking pretty darn nice with all that black armor actually matching. So I guess the shield type is random, because some of our Vamps, regular Vamps or von Carstein Vamps, have the red shield, whereas this guy has the black shield. And I swear I've seen a black and gold shield as well. Well, anyway, this is a pretty darn devastating force to break through a gate. 2 Mortis Engines and 4 Malevolent Treemen alone is already extremely scary. Unfortunate that the Malevolent Treemen can only be gotten in such limited numbers. I do love these units, and I've been greatly enjoying their effectiveness in Draca's campaign as well. Gotta love those whip claws that they have. Yeah, I suppose we also have no real way to heal them either, but once again, not a big deal. They are extremely difficult to bring down anyway. And on top of that, we do have repeated zombie summons that will be acting as a meat shield, together with the Mortis engines, which help out in acting as their own meat shields, but also heal themselves. And this is a pretty darn large pile of enemy demons surrounding this gate, but they're achieving nothing so far. As we can see, our entire blob is still at full HP. The Morghuls are trying to stream into the city, but are having a little bit of a difficult time just trying to get some space in there. Though it looks like at the very least our tiny little ghouls did make their way through, and damn, look how tiny the ghouls are compared to even a plague bearer, which aren't gigantic either. Alright. We've also got our hex wraiths moving towards the enemy gate. Unfortunately, just as we started to move the hex wraiths, the enemy decided, oh, we're gonna send this tiny little remnant of a Forsaken unit up there to annoy us. So one of our hex wraiths did lose a few units, though hopefully we can get those back up and running. The other two decided, nope, we're not going that way, and have pulled back, and are instead going to move through this gate, while these two try to break through the other one. It looks like the third gate is about, well, not nearly there, to halfway, but I'm sure it'll break sooner rather than later. Otherwise, we're 3 minutes in, the balance of power is about 75% in our favor already, and honestly, once the units all around this gate are dead, I doubt that the enemy is going to have too many units left anyway. There's also an enemy cultist acting as the enemy lord who is somewhere in here, but honestly, it's kind of hard to pick him out from the press. Especially as we just continue summoning zombies to act as additional meat shields. Plus, one of the nice things about the enemy having such a large blob of units around the gate is that our Mortis engines can effectively move in separate directions, which means they can apply their Mortis engine effect to a wider audience. Lovely, and it looks like we've broken through directly from the gate. The trees are looking pretty happy about it. I'm so glad we have Drika's unit supporting us. Alrighty, and the Chaos Spawners still doing a decent job at holding back, but now with the Treemen attacking them, I'm sure they'll start losing models shortly, even as they are not getting too much damage on them from the Mortis engine and such. We've also got two enemy towers attacking us from two different directions, a little bit of a crossfire set in here, and I do believe that all Nurgle towers are splash damage towers. Granted, this is not a threat to our single entities, but we do have Crypt Ghouls, and we do have Hex Wraiths in there that could get damaged, theoretically. Speaking of the Hex Wraiths, they've moved in to support their Mortis engine friends. Mostly because they have some ethereals pulling said Mortis engine. And it does look like very few of the enemy demons remain here. Most of them will be banished shortly. Oh, look at that Morgul. He's so happy. And there we go. I'm actually shocked that these guys haven't been turned into banishment yet. Well, good job to them. Well, let's see what else is going on in the middle of the enemy settlement. Looks like the gate has fallen, and the rest of our little commando squad is moving into the enemy settlement. They'll be able to get to that victory plaza and give us the win fairly shortly if the entire enemy doesn't rout based on what's happening here. We've also had our Hex Wraiths reach the other gate, and they're about to break through it and head into the city themselves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 full HP enemy units remaining. The balance of power is about 90% in our favor, and the banishment around the gate has also begun. I love watching your trees. Keep breaking those plague bearers. And there we go. With the gate freed up, we're going to move towards the, well, whatever we can reach. There's still a few Chaos Spawn fighting in the middle of that, but it looks like they get brought down even as we move past them. There are still a few units behind this barrier here, and we're going to send the Hex Wraiths and whatever else towards it, bring it down, and then head towards the Nurglings behind there. We've also got the enemy cultist pinned up against the wall, I believe, here, where he cannot escape, at least for now, so he'll probably be going down. Calling some reinforcements by the looks of it in the form of some plague bearers, but I think they're going to be a little bit too late. Man, those crypt ghouls are tiny. I want to compare them to Nurglings now, and yes, Nurglings are way, way tinier, but just out of curiosity. Alrighty, and by the looks of it, the enemy cultist has indeed been brought down, chased by our vampire lord, as well as his pet necromancer. And there is another unit of Nurglings rolling down, and their roll animation works perfectly down these hills as well. I wish that when going into low elevation, the entire blob of Nurglings, instead of doing that little cavorting run that they do, would just roll. Though that's pretty unnecessary feature creep, it would just be fun. Especially since the animation already exists, and the fact that I believe units do recognize when they're on elevation changes, or at least they should, because there are buffs and debuffs that are related to it. Anyway, looks like the Hex Wraiths have moved in and are about to capture the building. We don't want any more towers firing on us. We've managed to capture another one here, and our Hex Wraiths are moving towards this one unit of Exalted Plague Bearers, where they will hopefully surround and kill them. Otherwise, it looks like a unit of Nurglings has been caught by our Crypt Ghouls and our Mourngulls, and are gonna get banished very quickly. This must be so irritating for the Mourngulls. They're always so hungry and they can't eat demon flesh, because these guys just dissipate. Alrighty, and then there were the Exalted Plague Bearers. I think this is the last enemy unit on the field, and it's going to get charged simultaneously by 4 units of Hex Wraiths, and then they immediately go into banishment. Based on the damage of the charge, we can clearly see a decent amount of units get knocked around or killed, and on top of that, the army losses, and getting charged in the flanks and the back simultaneously. And there we go. At least the Hex Wraiths got to play. They usually don't get too much work in these settlement battles due to, well, them being much more useful in a field, as they are cav after all. But nonetheless, they got to kill something. And I mean, they got to kill a few other units here. There we go. A decisive victory. Frankly, a very easy one. I don't think we took any damage, or if we did, it'll be very, very small. Either way, we should be able to heal up and continue, and hopefully we can find ourselves a field battle to get these guys a proper Vanguard debut. Alrighty, not bad. Losses pretty darn minimal. Could have actually reduced those a little bit by healing those Hex Wraiths, but unfortunately none of the Forsaken remained a lot to actually run away. What we could have done, or should have done probably, is to let the cultist escape once he was shattered, so that rather than dying, he was alive and allow us to heal the rest of our units. But once again, the damage was so little, it doesn't really matter. We're gonna occupy the place, obviously, and we got a Hellsteed for you, my friend, which will help you get into combat faster. And there we go. Red Rock's a pretty decent location. It should be generating quite a bit of money as well. In fact, the entirety of the Dragon Isles will. Hopefully we can get Shattered Stone Bay away from our allies as well. Dread Rock, let's get you a Gibbet, let's get you a Balefire Brazier, let's get you those walls, and that's probably the only thing that's super necessary right now. Well, I guess the growth as well. And there we go. Easy enough. Honestly, we probably don't even need the Balefire Brazier, because the Nurgle corruption will all be gone by the time we're done here, but nonetheless, for now, for a little while at least. Alrighty, what's up next? Desolation of Nagash, might as well upgrade that Lich Yard. We gotta get a little bit more growth there, get Nagash's art to tier 5 so that we can get the Great Halls, which is a very nice faction-wide buff. Not that I strongly feel that we need it at this stage in the game. Anything else that needs an upgrade? Ah, yes, Bagar, definitely. You can actually lose this, get a wall as well as a gibbet. I love the growth, but I guess we can't be using it here right now. Will Krokgar attack us? I do wonder. Is he at war with the, He is not at war with the followers of Nagash. I was hoping that they would fight amongst themselves. Yeah, I fear that we're gonna have to destroy these dwarfs. I mean, actually, minus 26 isn't all that much and become vassal, but if we ally with them, that would piss off Kroggar, and it would probably piss off the Ghost of Pahwaks as well, because these guys will break all their agreements by virtue of becoming a vassal. That's just kind of dumb, once again. But oh well.
This better be.
Part of the game we will overcome. Let's see, now, a little bit more cash to spend. Ooh, we could upgrade a gibbet. Well, isn't that just lovely at Myrmidons? Good. And in fact, if we don't upgrade this, we could spend the rest of our money and just upgraded Myrmidons to tier 5. Considering it's one of our bigger money-making provinces, I guess it's not such a bad thing to do, even if we have no money remaining. Alrighty. Assuming... Oh, wait, I just realized. I was about to say, assuming that we don't need to raise anything else, and we may very well want to. King Simades is attacking Tobaro, or about to attack Tobaro. I don't think Ekich, whatever is in his army, can take a settlement. I doubt it anyway, at 15 out of 20. No, it's very possible. Tobaro's in much more danger, though, against the full stack, and who knows what's in here. Plus, they've got the Tomb Swarm and the Realm of the Dead. Yeah, we'll need to raise something there. Maybe just zombies or something. Something to get in the enemy's way. But in the meantime, I guess we'll be fighting Village, get some money from doing that, and let's see if that's enough to raise what we need to raise. Away you go, Renki. Village is gonna run, but he can't run far enough. There you go. Fairly well, Village. We will probably not see him again, so we're not going to auto-resolve this. Let's just fight this cinematically, as well as it is the last farewell send-off for an absolutely monstrous lord. Alright, Chaos Warriors and Marauders, by and large, this army is not very strong, and thus I expect this battle will go fairly quickly. How the mighty have fallen, I suppose, as Village has lost territory after territory and is now using very weak units. He does still have some Chaos Warriors, though they are still a tier 2 relatively basic unit, and are certainly no threat to our piles of Crypt Horrors. We've also separated our own army here slightly, with 2 units of Skeleton Spears acting together with 2 units of Crypt Horrors, and supported by a Necromancer, and the same thing happening on the other side as well. Village is firing, I think, at our aerial units, although a shot might... Did that actually hit these guys or not? Huh. I can't quite tell. And this guy didn't stagger, so he certainly... Did they take any damage? Yeah, they did take slight damage by the looks of it. 10... 5, 2, 6, yeah, they're healing up, so they did take a tiny bit of damage. Well done to them, I suppose. Anyway, we have our Graveguard in the center, supported by our Mortis Engine and the Crypt Horrors, the Necromancers on the side, together with the other Crypt Horrors in piles, and the Spears, and then, of course, our 3 units of Terrorgeist, well, 2 units of Terrorgeist and our Lord here, are working together as well. And they're going to go after a single Manticore. This is not a great matchup for the Manticore. Of course, it's going to get swarmed and destroyed by our anti-large Terrorgeists. Looks like they are going to call some Mantas to come in and help, or Screamers rather. And just like that, the Manticore is out. But the Screamers are doing a decent job by blocking our Terrorgeists off in the air. We are going to switch towards them. Village is still firing those blue fires at our units, and actually manages to bring 2 Crypt Horrors down. And damn, well done to Village, but of course we will immediately cast a heal on these guys, and we should be able to resurrect those 2 Crypt Horrors fairly quickly. Their corpses suddenly disappear, and I do imagine we've got them back up in there already. In the meantime, Village is going to get targeted by Renki himself, who will be also surrounded by a bunch of enemy units, but he will use that Overcast Command of the Unliving to generate another unit of Crypt Horrors around him to hopefully allow him to fight Village and his, frankly, superior animation. In the meantime, our other 2 Terrorgeists are going to be munching and crunching away on some Chaos Spawn over here, and these guys are isolated. And while I guess the terror from the Terrorgeists is wasted on these units, at the very least their anti-large is not, and they're not being blocked by piles of infantry, where they'd be wasting their hard hits on things like Marauders. In the meantime, let's see, the enemy main line is looking like it's going to buckle fairly soon. A Marauder of Tzeentch unit and a Forsaken of Tzeentch unit already out. The Chaos Warriors still holding, but with the Mortis Engine there and all these other units about to hit them from the side, once the flanks have collapsed, I don't imagine the battle's going to last much longer. Bounce power is about 75% in our favor already. and chariots charging in, but I'm not sure that they want to charge into a line of crypt horrors combined with spears. Doesn't seem like that'll go well either. Oh, and it looks like another unit of Marauders is turning away, facing away, and thus is probably running. And the Manticore comes back in, but very badly damaged and will probably die in a single hit or two. Especially if Renki stops fighting Village for a second and decides to fight the Manticore instead. Speaking of Renki, however, being surrounded and damaged like this, he is starting to take damage. Down to about 60% HP. That Sundered Armor isn't helping out much as well, and he's going to have to use a second use of Command of the Unliving to try to help him out. Otherwise, however, the rest of the enemy army is in extremely bad shape. The rightmost flank and the center have collapsed, and just this flank remaining. Our Crypt Cores are both in full HP now, having been resurrected by our Necro. And now just a matter of killing off these Chaos Warriors and Chariots. And of course Village as well. Plus we do have our Necromancer continuously summoning piles of zombies in the middle of the enemy, as we like to do. And they're just plain not going to achieve anything. Now the Terrorgeist have apparently munched and crunched their way through all those Chaos Spawns, so those guys are done for. Renki's now down to half HP. But once again, the enemy did surround him with those that Chaos Feral Manticore and Village and Spawn and Trolls. So the fact that he's holding ground here is a testament to his tankiness. He's of course not nearly as tanky as Roderick, but he's still pretty good. Alrighty, and now we have the Mortis Engine arriving to heal him. He's also going to pop both that Potion of Healing as well as get a Invocation of the Heck on him at the same time, and he should be healing up quite a lot, because that's all in combination with his own regeneration and his hunger as well. He's also going to pop that Spirit Leech on Mr. Village there, who is now starting to lower down to half HP himself. Balance of Power is at about 90% our way, and I don't think it's going to be necessary to actually kill Village, as the battle will end shortly. And there we go. Looks like most of the units that were protecting Village are running away, and in fact Village himself is trying to book it out of there as well, and with that I do believe that the battle is ours. As I said, it wouldn't last long, and that wasn't surprising, as the types of forces that they brought against us were far too weak. We are going to get the rest of our units to blob up essentially so that we can heal them up while Renki chases down Village. Not because we need to kill him, it's just a matter of principle. Obviously we don't need to chase anybody because the enemy army already tried to run away and thus will be destroyed after this battle is over. But I do want Village dead for good. If this is the last time we see him, he should die on the field as well, not just randomly disappear. Although I guess Village is one of the heroes that doesn't actually die on the field. He teleports out, doesn't he? I like the running / crawling animations that the Terrorgeist have, though. They're pretty horrifying. Gotta appreciate it. Although it doesn't look like it's doing too much in the way of hitting. Oh, he's down to about 1 or 2 hits. Oh, he's getting close to the edge of the map. Come on, Renki, don't mess this up, buddy. And there we go, down he goes again, and I'll speed this up as soon as he's done for. Ah, one more time, I guess. Was that the barrier? Did the barrier come up? Does barrier recovery continue when you're running? As in, when you're routing. I don't know. And up we go, and then down we go again, and Village should be gone for good with that. Teleporting out. Entering a warp gate or whatever, but I think that one has him lost in the warp forever, as we will not be seeing him again. Or maybe he's lost in time and will come back in 1,000 years, but by then it will have been the Empire of Undeath for quite a long time as well. Anyway, Sylvania victorious. Well, we're victorious. A decisive victory over Village as expected, and probably not much, if any, damage after the heals are done. Alrighty, there we go. Easy enough. 0 losses and village is done. We'll take a little bit of extra cash because we're gonna need it for raising some units. And there we are. Ooh, a free banner of Eternal Flame. I'll certainly take that. Now the question is, where do we... wait, why would we suffer attrition here? Oh, because... Right, controlled by the living, yeah. That's normal. That is perfectly normal. I do wonder whether this guy will try to attack us next turn. Yeah, but it looks like this faction will be done for next turn either way. I guess we'll want to send Renki down to the territory of the living regardless of the attrition so that he can go down here and through to help out Hexoatl in the hopes that we can vassalize them. They still really don't like us for our treaties with Eataine and Avalorn, unfortunately, but the vassal likelihood isn't super unlikely. Yeah, because if we vassalize them, they'll suddenly be at war with a bunch of other factions. And we're not fighting Rakarth or the Awakened as yet. I was actually thinking maybe we could align with the Awakened, but that's not gonna fly. At the very least, everybody likes the fact that we're attacking Clan Pestilence, so that's good. Anyway, let's move. I clicked the C lane, so all the way back here. Renki, away you go. Wait, in March stance. We gotta get through this as fast as possible. I wonder how much damage we will have suffered by the time we move through this. Actually, not that much. The living attrition isn't nearly as bad as the chaotic attrition. Lovely. And maybe we'll send Roddy the same way. 1, I don't want him to get corrupted by chaos, and B, it's quite a long way up here. It really depends on whether Jacob can actually handle this, which is entirely going to be decided as by whether the Warhost of the Apocalypse actually sends a full stack down there or not. If they don't, then he should be able to handle it just fine without the need for the ghouls to do stuff. Ermaine, you still need that Mortis engine, but I don't think we can get you one right now. Let's immediately summon something at Tobaro. Let's the Fleet-Footed and Necrarch. We could do you, for example. You are low level. These guys are new lords. I'd rather not waste our time with new lords. Yeah, I guess you're the way to go. You do have raised dead at this level, don't you? At level 3, I hope that we got you raised dead. Yeah, we do. Okay, good. Up you go. And let's see what you got. Oh, you actually don't have any points on you at all. You're just free. Okay, that's fine. Well, either way, no matter what, we need raised dead. 1 point short of Curse of Undeath is really unfortunate. Oh, what I was looking for was the pre-summoning, so it would have had all of his spells available. So yeah. Don't know what's in here still. Alright, well, let's get a couple Crypt Horrors. Do we have anything in the way of corpse carts? No corpse carts. Ooh, that's not so great. That is indeed not so great. Oh well. The enemy probably has some archers, which we could use dire doggos to attack. A single unit of regular Crypt Ghouls to provide additional poison, although I suppose the Crypt Horrors could do that. Do we need the ethereal magical attacks for anything? We also don't want to go overboard because they won't attack if we go overboard. You know what? I think we'll summon 1 skeleton spear, 3 zombies, and that's it. Even that might be too much. You know what? Just in case, we're also going to do this. Recruit zombies. And this might draw the enemy in. Then again, if they have yeah, see, the problem is we can't see what's in here. If they have Chemerian War Sphinxes, nothing here will stand a chance against them. Which is the issue. If they don't, their army is weak. If they do, their army is strong. Or Hyro Titans, or Necrosphinxes.
Yes.
And battle will be entirely dependent on whether they have those or not. Well, honestly, if we lose this little settlement, we'll just have to send an army back, or just raise something nearby. There should be, yeah, there's a big gravesite at Xerixil, so we could raise a full stack and retake it if we need to. Hopefully we don't. What I don't want to happen is for this guy to move away and then go after something else, which is why I'm not summoning more units. Alright, I'll leave it as it is. Anything else we gotta do this turn? I'd love to end the turn. Oh, Dirk Brickmere. Yes. You are gonna go after Sarl Encampment. And wait, Otto, you can't move. Oh, why did I move Otto and not Dirk? Huh. Alright, that was my bad. Go after Sarl Encampment, please. and occupy it. A lot of damage, but we're gonna occupy it, so it does not matter. You're gonna be at full health. You got yourself a treasurer, which you don't actually need. Let's take that away from you. We should really give that to... We don't need the black cat either. We should really give that to one of our units that is sitting inside Castle Drakenhof. One of the boosters, I mean. Anyway, I believe that is everybody that can move right now. Yes, yes. Maybe. Ermine is good. Wallach is moving. Waldeck here. Oh. You're still in ambush. Okay, so that means you do need to move. Alright, let's send you to Doomkeep. I guess not past it, because you want to heal. I did want to start recruiting your depth guard as well. You know what? I guess we'll take over either Varg Camp or the Monolith of Catan with you. Probably both. And then we'll deal with that. Yeah, so this is what we'll do. We'll send Dirk up this way to the Forbidden Citadel or the Altar of Spawns, Otto to one of these locations. Then Otto can stick around and defend, probably with the units of Dirk's army. Whereas we can unsummon Dirk and probably send him to be the lord of this army, rather than Edmund. Though on the other hand, Edmund's been here for a while now. Yeah, but then again, if he has ghouls, the only way to power up the ghouls is via a Ghoul King. Wait, do regular Ghoul Kings have the same kind of buffs as the Strigoi bloodlines? Do we even have any non-Strigoi bloodlines? Let's see, Strigoi Ghoul King... Jurgen, I think, might have been the only one. Well, I guess we'll find out when we can resummon him. I guess we can resummon a new one right now if we really wanted to. Although the question is, do we really want to? Also, maybe we want to get a couple more zombies in here. Or is that too much? One more zombie. I'm concerned that there's a war Sphinx in there. Alright, well, and that's good enough. I think with that, here not moved and assigned skill points, we'll ignore. Building upgrade commandment available, we will not ignore. Let's go for Foster Terror right now. This, we might keep Trollheim Mountains, I'm not entirely sure. It's actually generating money. Not a lot of money, mind you. But it is still generating money. Let's get that charnel pit here. If we get a gibbet in the Tower of Crack... Yeah, the thing is, the Tower of Crack and the Bay of Blades are both yellow territories. So other than the Sarl encampment, which is red... it's not so bad. This is going to cost 6,000, this is going to cost 52. They're both kind of still way too expensive, but one territory should be able to pay for itself. It's the same reason that we kept the Icetooth Mountains. Anyway, well, let's end the turn. I guess we will not be fighting whatever battle because we're out of time. Or do we? You know what? I think I'll call the episode here. We'll end the turn at the start of next episode because what's going to happen is we'll end the turn and then King Simades will attack. So we're not going to be able to see anything else that happens anyway. And we may get attacked somewhere else as well, but I think that's really only Edmund that might get attacked by Wilmar, but even then I kind of highly doubt it. So yeah, we'll start off next episode with another battle, as well as continuing to destroy the remnants of the Puppets of Misrule, and we may be able to land on Nagaron's shores next episode as well, which means we will declare war on Nagaron and have Rudy start to destroy them as well, with the help of our elven friends, of course. Alright, I do think that Nagaron will fall fairly quickly, and then it'll just be really chaos left and whatever is infesting Lustria. I like those rats. Anyway, stay tuned for more Vlad even as we move towards the end of the campaign. Don't forget to leave a like and comment. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.